Hello, SpongicX here with another episode of Conkers Bad Fur Day.
Hey, I'm here. Hurry up. Pick me up, shithead.
Excellent. Jetpacks and bolas. Here we come.
Where do you think you're going with that?
Huh?
The money.
Oh, I'm following her.
I don't think so. I think you need to see the boss.
Okay.
So this part confuses me a bit. Like, why is Barry hanging around the Dawn all of a sudden? Like, would have made sense if they explained that she's being held against her will or something, but...
This is the fella.
Off me.
So, this is the wise guy that tried to steal my dough. What do you gotta say for yourself, boy?
What? Oh, hey. Hey, Barry, how you doing? Me.
Do you know this tea leaf?
Yeah, like I'd associate with a caveman.
Crying out loud,
Does not
Conker,
seem
take
to
off
know
your
you.
hat.
Like, is it okay if I go now? I gotta go powder my nose.
Get out of here. Right. Let's get back to business. I just got one thing to do. I'll be with you in a minute.
See, it's fine to know there's a deleted scene during this part. There's supposed to be a random scene where he
You
spots
step out of
Pikachu
line,
and he just starts chasing it and beats the crap out of it. He comes back and says,
back.
"Sorry, you know what they say.
One of
You
you
gotta
guys
catch 'em
has
all."
shown no respect.
But apparently Nintendo
Who
did
it
not
is?
approve of
I
that,
don't
so...
know. Could have been Frankie. Could have been Chicho.
And of
Could've
course,
been.
they're spoofing off the movie The
Polly.
Untouchables right here. Part where Robert De Niro beats up a guy with a baseball bat.
You don't you ever do that again to me!
Look, you can have the money. In fact, I've got more money. You can have that too, if you want. Oh no, what am I doing?
You can keep the money, but you gotta do me a little job first.
A job? Oh, yeah, cool. But I mean, I'll have to consider it first. But what is it? What I have to do?
Good. I'm glad you accepted.
Step this way.
I thought this part was a lot funnier in the Xbox remake. The part where he shows him the slideshow. During the part where he says, like, down here, they had it in the Xbox remake where a picture of Barry's butt showed up, and then he accidentally like showed that, and then he quickly like skips it after. So he's like down, and then he quickly skips it. I thought that was really funny. They kind of did a similar joke here. It showed like a picture of one of like
Where
the
they came from?
like
I
rock
don't know.
women.
They seem totally out of
But it
place
was
in
during a
this
different part of the
ecosystem.
slideshow, and I thought what they did in the
Here,
Xbox remake
they're
was
on
much
my
funnier.
patch. So, what I propose that you do is use your disguise acumen. Take the bomb through here, down here, out of here, and drop it here. By the way, when that bomb goes off, I suggest you leave town. And if you don't pull it off, I suggest you leave town. Let's go to work.
Oh, this part. It's tricky. I liked it a lot better in the Xbox remake. Not only was the music a lot cooler, but I like how they actually had a visual countdown to let you know how much time you had left. In this one, you just have the music to let you know. It gets faster and louder the closer it gets to exploding, but it doesn't really help though unless like you actually experience how long the length of the music goes in the first place. So. It's tricky though, you don't want to get hit at all, otherwise you'll blow up. And you do not want to stop either, otherwise you will not be able to make it to the end. So this is mostly a part that requires a lot of luck. Luck and timing. Yeah, one thing... Don't worry, I'll skip ahead though. But you don't have to see me go through all that again. One thing that's important to remember during this part, never take the right path. The right path has too many little pitfalls that you cannot get out of. Oh, and now Conker takes off the hood.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, during the Xbox remake, they actually had it where the lava was rising during the gameplay during this part. So you could have died during this part if you didn't act quick. But then it's like when you return to it, the platforms are there all of a sudden, but I could have sworn it was rising in the Xbox remake. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
Where could we be now, then? Oh, hi. Huh? I recognize that money. Oh no. What is the world coming to? When a squirrel can't even go to a dinosaur-themed world without getting mugged by a bunch of prehistoric brats. Oi! Give me my money back! What to the moon?
I did not need to see that.
Now that gives me another idea.
Look at how low poly their hands are in this game.
Let's go.
So this is the part I feel mixed about. I love the music and I love the gameplay, but the only thing that really ruins it for me is that damn Brontosaurus that keeps just randomly popping up. It is just there to make sure you die occasionally, and you never know, like, it just has a random pattern, and I hate that. There's some times where you just cannot avoid it, no matter how hard you try. Now, I like how the Xbox remake, there's actually 2 music tracks for this level. Like, one of them's kind of like a remix of the version you see here, and then the other is an entirely new mix of it. Like, they're both kind of like the same track, but both have a few minor differences. But, yeah, I thought it was cool how they had 2 different tracks for it. Now, it's like, I've seen that some people have a lot of trouble during this part, and, the key here is you gotta hold forward on the control stick to speed up. That's one thing the game fails to tell you. And then when you get close to the caveman, you're supposed to whack them. Like, one mistake that's easy to make is after you, after you defeat the second caveman, like, the route changes drastically, so you gotta keep a sharp eye out for that. See, I got lucky there. That could've killed me. Usually when Conker runs into that, he blows up automatically, so I got very lucky there. Yeah, you gotta keep a sharp eye out for that part. If you walk off the path, you gotta make a sharp right. I probably would have been done with this by now if it weren't for that dang Brontosaurus stomping on me, but... Well, I lost a bit of speed that I gotta make up for. So I'll admit, I already died during this part, like while recording, but I skipped that and just went to round 2 where I actually won, luckily. That could be considered a tricky part as well. It's easy to miss that part as well. Here we have the Dinosaur Coliseum part. A little repetitive, but I think it still has some funny moments. This part was a lot better on the N64 version. The controls were very stiff on the Xbox remake.
Somebody's pleased to see me. Hey, yeah, I know.
Like, you could argue they were kind of stiff on this game as well, but man, it was even worse in the Xbox version. It's mainly like when you're controlling the T-Rex, or I mean the raptor thing. I just find it so funny how every time Bunga says big bone, his subtitles have its where he pronounces it as big boner instead, or yeah, it's so funny.
Not quite sure what's going on here, but
yeah, the Xbox remake definitely did a better job at animating the crowd and the audience. They look, you know, they only have like a few animation of frames here on the N64 version. The only major difference is some of them are actually holding up signs that are cheering Conker on. They aren't in the Xbox. It doesn't really make much sense though. How do they know who Conker is already? It would have made more sense if like they pulled it up like during the boss fight in this game, but right before he even enters the arena, they have him. That's what's crazy.
Oh, hi. You're going this way too, I take it. Yeah. I'll just wait here and follow you guys.
So it's fun to know this is like a partial leftover from the original game. There was supposed to be like some kind of like Roman themed level in the E-rated version of this game, and there was supposed to be a part where there was like a Coliseum that had a few challenges Conker had to go through. They showed like how instead of fighting Bug of the Nut, you would have had to fight a Cyclops. And then there's a part where you had to race like a Cerberus.
Oh.
I just really wish we could play the original version of this game. I mean, there's just... I don't know why Rare thought it was wasted potential. I thought it looked fun. Never too late. You could always release it on, if not Xbox One, release it on Rare Replay. So if I'm not mistaken, they said the game was ready for release. But they just decided they didn't think it was going to sell.
Oh, is that the time? I got a scoop.
Yeah, I like how in the Xbox remake during that part you actually see tears in Conker's eyes. I thought that was kind of a funny touch. So random. That's what's so funny about like when you first use the context sensitive in this game. You never, like, for those who don't know what happens in the game, you don't know what Conker's gonna pull out at that moment in time. And so he you know, it's so funny how like right here he's up against like a dangerous, deadly raptor. What does he decide to pull out to fight off against it? He decides to pull out a watch so he can hypnotize it. So random. Effective though. So I wonder, like, if this was kind of like inspired by Super Mario World, like riding on Yoshi, but they, you know, they thought, okay, let's do something like Super Mario World, like Mario and Yoshi, except let's make it violent. No, I do think, like, this part is fun at first, but it does go on a little too long. Like, it wouldn't have been so bad if they just had the second wave of, you know, cavemen you had to fight, but then there's even a third wave that comes out, and more of them keep coming when you keep defeating them all, and, it got a little tiring. I thought it was funny how in the Xbox remake, when he said what a para, they made it more obvious at what he was staring at.
Oh, don't like the look of this. I think they're sending in the big boys.
I thought this part was a little funnier in the Xbox remake. Just like the motion they did during their dance is kind of funny. This, they're mainly just shaking their butts at you, but in the remake they made it a lot funnier.
Get back into the lane, stupid twat.
They just say twat and shat. I noticed how some of the cavemen are throwing confetti in the background. Somehow I've never noticed that.
Order, good son Bunga.
Yeah, I noticed like a lot of the screams that the cavemen make are reused throughout the game a lot in different pitches. Heck, when you're fighting Bunga the Nut, like when you bite him in the butt, the sound effect he makes is a slowed down version of that. And then same with like when you're fighting the experiment during the war chapter, along with the sounds that the little girl puppet makes when you shoot her off of the experiment's hands. They're all just like different sped up or slowed down versions of that sound clip for some reason. I mean, this isn't the first game to do it. Like, one of the first instances I can think of is Super Mario 64. One thing some people don't realize is, like, the Boo's cackle, it's actually a sped-up version of Bowser's evil laugh in that game. Now, I'll admit, like, when I first played this part of the game, I actually got stuck on it because I thought, like, all the cavemen were defeated, and I was wondering, like, wait, what the heck's going on? Why isn't it advancing? And one thing I didn't realize is one of the cavemen were already in Fengi's mouth, and you can't eat him until, like, he's standing still. You gotta press B while he's standing still in order for him to eat them, otherwise you'll do the ram attack. And so, yeah, unfortunately, the game did not do a very good job at explaining that. It's funny how there are some games where, you know, they can have some flaws with not explaining things, and people take points off that. So it's funny how there's so many people who, you know, they point out that Conkers Bad Fur Day does have a few flaws, but they just love the game so much they can overlook it.
It's not supposed to happen.
Oh, he's so cute though. He's got a bigger boner than me.
Oh, it's got a bigger bone. Aye.
If you so bigger, you show him, big boy.
I will. Bigger the bone, splat, face to squidgy, little furry, kinda. See?
Oh my giddy aunt. This is not good.
No mistake, big Bunga. Gia fucking did.
I know you're not a vegetarian, but I think we should go for the meat and two veg. Looks like it needs a bit of tenderizing though, if you know what I mean.
I surprisingly got a bit lucky during this part. Usually, I always run into a lot of bad luck during this part where, like, he keeps blocking my attacks whenever I try using it. So here, luckily, I was able to get him at every strike. I'll admit I messed up a bit right there, but the rest of it is a lot smoother. Usually, he blocks your attack at random during that part, so luckily I didn't have to worry about that this time. So messed up. Yeah, this part was much more difficult in the Xbox remake because Fangy's controls were just so stiff. And then the biting part was a bit unresponsive at times. It's like you just had to keep button mashing the B button until he did it. It's ridiculous. That's probably the fastest I've ever beaten this boss fight. So yeah, I noticed they actually censored this part in Rare Replay, where in the original N64 version it was uncensored. I'll tell you though, whatever it was he had, it did not look like a penis. It was of course censored in the Xbox remake as well, but...
A secret.
So yeah, that's probably the first time I've ever seen that part shown in a video game.
Well, so ends another incident in my day. Now, I think we should go up there and pay those babes that did it. I mean, I'm pretty determined to get some of that out of this. Maybe there's some cash up there, too. Well, we live in hope. Right, you? I think this is where we say goodbye.
Now, all I can say is, what was Conker thinking during this part? He's a freaking raptor!
I know we had a
Keep
good time
him!
together, but the fun's over now. Go on, off with ya. That's it. Right, bedtime.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Seaver confirmed that Fangy was supposed to return in the sequel. He was supposed to be like one of the security of
what are you
the
doing?
castle.
Stop following me. Go back.
But he got killed off by the Panther King at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, right. Fetch. Ha, good. Psychology. Always works with these animals. Now then, let's see. Babe time.
Conker should have brought that raptor with him. It could have come in handy. Let's see. Bunga's bone club is still on the ground. Cool. You can still see the giant hole in the wall he created, which also created a platform for you to jump on with the damage it left behind.
Babe. Where are those big babes? Huh? Paradise.
Wakey, wakey. Slumberland gone. Oh, you're so cute, though.
Hello. Hello. I love you.
No, love you no more. Squid fudgy Jugga, no.
What? No. We can work it out.
Squid fudgy break Jugga's heart.
No, I'll be good. I'll be really good. I'll be useful.
How does she know his name?
The drink's out. Whatever you've heard about me, it's not true. It's totally exaggerated. Nope.
Jugga put Squid fudgy here. Jugga not like goodbyes. But bye-bye. You go.
Bye-bye, then.
I love you always.
Bye-bye. Oh, well.
Now, some might have thought Conker was a real prick during that part because he has a girlfriend, but considering their last interaction with each other, how she couldn't even recognize him, yeah, you honestly can't blame Conker for kind of cheating on her at that moment, but...
Hey! Hey, over here! So, you want some great stuff?
Yeah. Let's hope there's more where that came from.
Yeah, one thing I honestly never knew about this part originally is that there's a 1-up, that you can get to. I only now noticed that after all these years of playing this game. Now, I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but let's just say I probably should have just left this alone. That was bull crap. Great. I gained a life just to lose a life. Ew, those wall textures look unfinished. That's kind of frustrating to know all that just takes you back to one of the most infamous parts of the game. So then when you head back to Windy, a reprise of the Beehive mission reoccurs, and it's pretty funny, but this part's a lot more tolerable in the Xbox remake. The controls during the turret part are much easier. But I still think the cutscenes during this part are really funny. Now this is like recycling in a video game done right.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Squirrel. I'm so happy to see you again.
Oh, really? I'm happy to see you. Hey, where's the hive gone?
Oh, that's just the point. They've stolen it again. And I don't know what to do. My husband hasn't returned yet. He's a fiend. If he were here, he'd sort them out. It's just gonna have to be somebody else.
Oh, really? And who would that be this time, I wonder?
Well, you did help last time. And I don't know who to talk to.
Okay. But what's in it for me?
Money?
Yeah, but it'll have to be double last time.
Double? Okay, yeah.
Treble.
Triple. Okay, get my heart back.
Okay, I'll get it back. Where is it?
Just follow the signs again, but you'll have to go a bit further. It was a deep insurgency mission this time. It won't be as easy, I can tell you.
Really? Deep insurgency? Quadruple. Oh, well, okay, fair enough. Oh, hey, look, that looks quite nice over there. I think I'll go over here.
Okay, come back. Quadruple. That'll be $200.
Hang on a sec, my math isn't that good. But I seem to think it was $400.
Okay.
What? I thought he was only given $10 originally, wasn't he? Yeah, I don't think this game really kept track of how much money Conker makes. I mean, the money is mostly there just for show and the cutscenes. It really doesn't seem to have much progression value. Compared to, like, Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie with the stars and jiggies. This part's a bit annoying. It goes on for quite a bit. I'll just skip ahead a bit. You pretty much get the idea. You just gotta stay alive and keep shooting the wasp.
Mr. Squirrel, hurry! I think there's a bit of a lull in the waves. Hop out and go to the hive now, quickly! No time to lose!
How are they still alive?
Hey! Some wise guy's trying to steal our nice new hive again! It's the same little bastard! Come on, boys!
What, again? Let's get him, boss.
Again?
The absurdity of this just makes it so much funnier.
Come here, shorty.
Come here, you shorty!
Quite an upgrade. Like I said, this game, like this part of the game, is recycling content done right.
You want this?
It's familiar, but it made a few, you know, touch-ups to make it a little funnier.
Thank you, Mr. Squirrel. Once again, I would like to thank you for your good service and noble contribution to the bee community.
I like how in the remake they made it look more like Conker was annoyed during that part.
With bees.
Or in this one, he looked more like, yep, bring me the praise. In the remake, he looked more like, oh, come on.
Oh, want some of us throws? Yeah, more spondoolies.
I heard that's the last thing that happens to us. What could possibly go wrong now? Here's to a wonderful year.
Spoiler alert, she gets crushed by a giant windmill.
There you go. Now what?
Huh? Wanna go for a ride?
Not really.
Not really, what?
Alright.
A ride! Yeah. Let's go for a ride.
I still want to know who the heck was inside that barrel. The controls for this part are not very good. Thanks for adding insult to injury, you stupid worm. Let's try that again.
Whoa.
Oh, it's the old chap again. Whoa, that was close.
Ugh. Well, it's been out for some time. It's night.
Well, that's all I have to show for now. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.